बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। मेरा नाम शाहिद कॉमरेड है और मैं आई एम सेक्रेटरी जनरल पाकिस्तान USA Freedom Forum, a group of the people with the conscience in this country who love to add beautiful things to our forefathers' values who left for us. And as the Secretary General Pakistan USA Freedom Forum, this is my honest duty to share with the honesty, without any fear, the feelings, concerns, and the fear of the Pakistani living abroad, who send every year $32 billion to motherland. Let's start from the beginning. In this country, USA, when the first day Pakistan born under the leadership of one of the best constitutionalists, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, M.A. Jinnah barrister from London, he got the country, and he never hid this thing, that he got the inspiration of the last prophet Muhammad, who said, any Islamic state will stand for the dialogue-based solution, not forced, and sovereignty. That's what the message M.A. Jinnah, father of the nation, openly told us and give us the order and message to the army generals: you are nothing to do with the civilian matters. If you think this thing, this shall be a treason. Let's start after 1947, 14 August. One of the best strategists, highest educated, evil-minded, greed-based brain of United States and West, they realized the first Islamic state, Pakistan, and then bombing, atomic bomb, using first time in the history against human species, 1940s, Second World War. They give the birth to the Israel. Everybody knows who created Israel. Balfour Agreement, blah, blah, blah. That was the result of the outgoing or leaving colonial power, British Raj, plus the new emerging colonialist, imperialist, American war machine, Wall Street, banks. They very cleverly, let's praise it. I'm asking everybody, please praise your enemy's brain. From the day one, American strategists spend the millions of dollars giving the money to Pakistan for what? For civil society? No. Building barracks of army, counties, camps. So that was, they spend money on army. If they spend $1 billion on army, they spend 1,000 on civilian society promoting. And whenever this kind of planning comes, or they installed army generals. Remember, is there any army coup happen backed by CIA, Pentagon? It means in that region, coming days, coming years, there's going to be a big game. Region will be destroyed. They used Pakistan army power, installing General Ayub, 1958, the first CIA-backed coup, bloodless, and helped by one of the shrewd politician who was a barrister from London, Z.A. Bhutto, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. So this family of Bhutto is one of the best CIA agent in that area, in my opinion, and that's what I'm talking about, talking to the public, Pakistani public living abroad. So they help install dictatorship. For what? Forcing them to the Sito and Cento. Okay, what was the reason? Other, it means that time in Korea War, they need grain, they need supply close to that area. Pakistan was the country of agriculture country, so they used that thing. Then, when they realized this thing, that there will be a politician government or civilian government. When I use the word civilian governments, it means they may be poor, maybe they illiterate, maybe they're low level, but one thing is clear: they never take orders from outside. They make mistake, but their own mistakes, not the order by Washington, London, Paris, Lisbon, Holland, Germany. So that was, they always, whenever civilian government mean sovereign government. Poor, no, not big knowledge, but one thing is very clear: sovereign country. Then this thing going on, there was election, Ayub Khan. The study was this: 47 to 60s, that time there was no constitution of Pakistan. Okay, election was announced. Sister of father of nation, M.A. Jinnah, Fatima Jinnah, people called mother of the nation. She's first time a Muslim woman stand for election. Friends, Pakistan, be proud. A woman 1960s. Are my women are backward? She was dentist. 1930s. Are Pakistani women, are Muslim women backward and don't know nothing? But Fatima Jinnah challenged CIA-backed bastard Ayub. But Z.A. Bhutto, who was a secretary of a dictator's party, Z.A. Bhutto go against sister and mother of the nation, Madre-Millat Fatima Jinnah. Anyway, there was a big rigging. Pakistan was considered two parts: West Pakistan, which is now, and the distance between India, 1,000 mile India, then East Pakistan. East Pakistani are Bengali. They very loving for the democracy, and they have something in their blood, maybe the fish, because they have only fish, that they cannot bow their heads for a long time. So they stand with Muhtarama Fatima Jinnah. They challenge dictator Ayub and Z.A. Bhutto, but they was crushed. That was the biggest problem. And India has a bad opinion too, bad game too. Hindu doesn't understand if something happened to Pakistan. My Indian friends, you are very well educated nowadays. You have too much money. Think about the region. Any conspiracy, any unrest which affects the future trade of that area, which is now number 2 world trade power, China, number 3 Japan, and emerging power India on the internet, blah 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 blah. So it's gonna be impact on the all over the world. So that after that, there was a 1967. There was a riots, march all over the city. Karachi was the leading city, one of the most intelligent and full of intellect. City of Karachi, only port, only big international airport. Mostly people who came to this country left everything in India after hundreds of years for new Pakistan. For what? Because they think we will apply our own policies and Islam, and they left everything. They assembled in Karachi because there are people who was zero. There was people who was zero, no wealth. They add power, creation, intellect, poetry, philosophy in Karachi. And there was a big industrial city like Manchester. Karachi became like this. All over the business, all over the Pakistan, thousands of miles, people came to get some work and they can live. That's the Karachi. Karachi was leading city in Pakistan against any bullshit by West, backed by Washington, by CIA. After 1970s, when Pakistan became a two-part, friends, let's talk openly. Shahid Bhutto was the biggest conspirator and facilitator of CIA game. They cut the Pakistan, he became a number one, and he became a ruler, let me put it this way. And he emotional. This guy, he's a juggler, he talk openly, false promise. I will give you everybody land like this, and if you added that land, Pakistan was a short of that. So this kind of false promises, anyway people choose. Friends, 1970 to 1977, Shahid Bhutto ruled fist, private army FSF against the civilian people, forces. Anybody who challenged Shahid Bhutto's fascism, he used his private army FSF, and you're gonna be killed, your legs will be cut, and nobody know where you are. 77 there was elections. March 77, 7 of March. General elections held in Pakistan. There was a big rigging in national elections. People was angry because people who was fighting against Shahid Bhutto's fascism, they have a coalition forces of 9 party, Pakistan National Alliance Qawmi Ittihad, is led by Mr. Mufti Mahmood, something like father of the Fazl. Within 1 hour of 7th of March night, everybody knows it's engineered, it's a rigged election. People come out next day to the streets, and PNA decided in the meeting, we will not join any provincial elections of 9th of March, I think. Sorry, you added and corrected. So there was empty polls on provincial assembly. Deputy commissioners and bureaucrats, they was, I think, putting the votes in the boxes, and they declared that the Shahid Bhutto PPP, Pakistan People's Party. There was a movement started in March, unrest, big unrest, everywhere burning. You see the destroying things, building gone down, cinema house down, and direct shooting by the police, by FSF. March 9, to 5th of July, Mr. Ziaul Haq, Army General, and backed by CIA and the West, came to power, when Mr. Zele Bhutto was proudly saying, "My chair is strong." Stupid. You say that you are the doctor of the people. You don't understand. This is the Pakistani nation. They got this country by the vote, not by any agitations, under the leadership of M.A. Jinnah. So anyway, he said 5th of July, General Zia came to power. Again, bloodless coup. So it's a 1958, 1967, Yahya, 1977, Zia, bloodless coup. As I said before, anywhere where there's a revolution or army coup, something gonna be happened. Guys, in South America, in Africa, if anything happened in like Pakistan, Pakistan is a study case. So, 77, remember, 79, Islamic Republic Iran revolution. USSR, the stupidest move by USSR invading in Kabul, Afghanistan. So keep in mind, 77 coup, as I showed, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, it's gonna be something gonna be happened, and it happened. Invading Russia in Afghanistan, CIA contact that we were gonna stop this invasion, because before 1965, the great Vietnamese, 3-4 feet tall, oh my God, people know, people seen how they flee army, American army, 7 feet tall, 500 pound, 300 pound, from the 3 feet people, maybe 100 pound. Helicopter taking the people from the embassy. It's, remember, it's a part of the history. They have the defeated, they have the big wound CIA and American war machine. Now, 79, Russia in Afghanistan. So let's make even. Because in both ways, American and West weapon industry gonna be make billions of dollars. So they used their general, Pakistani General Zia, and asked him, "Oh, you are a Muslim, the Muslim state invaded, so we're gonna help you. What do you want?" So on that time, loaded with the dollar, my US citizens, my country fellow, you know this thing, full of plane of the dollar landing in Pakistan, giving to the army generals. Oh, we were going to give this money to that time Reagan called them Mujahid. Reagan called them, and he called them in White House. Gulabuddin Hikmatyar, Sayyaf, and other leaders, great leaders, salute to them, freedom fighters. They give the money to them. Yes, generals got the $1 billion, you give $5,000 to the Taliban or Mujahideen, freedom fighters, 1979. Their war goes to 1988 till. In that meantime, General Zia involved with some family which is called Sharif family, mean Nawaz Sharif, Shahbaz Sharif family. They created this guy in army nursery. Nawaz family, Sharif family, they created over there. So they become a prominent politician. Till 1998, I think, the C-131 near Bahawalpur, that was a flamed and gunned down, I don't know, is a nerve gas with the ambassador of United States. And then PPP, led by that time daughter of Zade Bhutto, she was in somewhere, and I think CIA approached her. Oh, because he knows the family weakness. They want a power. They can't sit in a position because they don't have a balls, because they don't have a high intellect. Anybody who can't see a position, maybe the money, maybe the rich and weapon, but as a nation, as a human, no power. If you can't afford ideas, different ideas, just like United States and the West, they cannot afford because they're weak as idea-wise. Capitalism versus socialism versus communism and versus Islam. So anyway, she loved power. She make a deal. I'm going to rule and I will not take any action who was involved hanging his father, Zade Bhutto, or doing something against the PPP workers. That was the deal. So these are generals, culprits of Zia and the regime. They got green light. It's done by Zade Bhutto, the daughters, Benazir Bhutto, Oxfordian. When she landed, millions people say, welcome, welcome. And you know what she did? Workers think that this is the time to make even with the bastards generals, army. You know what she said? Shh, not a single word against any army generals. Fine, that was the biggest problem. She ruled, then Nawaz Sharif ruled, and this all is all. She brought by army, Nawaz Sharif brought by army. So now it's okay, 1 year, 2 year me, 3 year 4, like this. She again comes 1999. Nawaz Sharif was in power. Mr. General Musharraf, dictator, dirtiest, lowest general and soldier. What I said? Dirtiest, lowest level soldier and generals in all history of army's book. He was that kind who kidnapped their own citizen, Dr. Afia Siddiqui, and give to the CIA. She's in a 86-year, whatever the mockery with the US justice system in Texas nowadays. Afia Siddiqui, Pakistani. So anyway, General Musharraf came to power. Again, bloodless coup. Fourth bloodless coup. Till 2007 or 2008, he ruled in Pakistan. Then civilian government came, Mr. Zardari, PPP, very cleverly give them the freeway. They didn't charge anything, they didn't arrest him. General Musharraf, who treasured our treasure mean Constitution of Pakistan, he broke it. He must be tried and hanged, but not. Asif Zardari gave him safe way because People's Party and the family of the People's Party is basically facilitator of Washington's interest. After that, 2008, Zardari gone after 5 years. Mr. Nawaz Sharif came to power. But in the meantime, CIA invaded Pakistan and killed Osama bin Laden. I am telling openly, honestly, my God, one of the greatest revolutionary, more than Dr. Che Guevara, named Osama bin Laden. Yes, I take a stand. I can prove it. He came to power, he came to Afghanistan against USSR. He gave the money. He didn't come with his body. He came with the money and with his family in Afghanistan, making bread factories, giving to the people. They attacked in Pakistani territory, bring helicopters, and they murdered Osama bin Laden. And Pakistani government didn't do anything. But latterly people said that a traitor ambassador named Hussein Haqqani have a lot of knowledge, or with the permission of Asif Zardari, PPP, and this ambassador who was in Washington, Pakistani ambassador, but serving interests of the Washington. Maybe he's a good scholar, but shameful. Guys, after that, 2018 elections there, Imran Khan, one of the most, I think, handsome, attractive international star. What a man. Maybe, I don't think so any normal, beautiful woman can resist. He married to the British family's Smith family, Jemima. She was half of her age. What a lady, what a grateful lady, great character. Now he got on the 2 sons from Jemima, they divorced. This guy, basically he was getting charity, building cancer hospitals like London, like Paris, like New York. He got fame. People love him because he was an international cricket star. He won the World Cup 1992 in Australia, I think. He came to power. He started maybe years back a party called PTI, Party of the Justice. But remember, let me be honest with you, with the people's opinion, he was not a political worker. He was a welfare kind of stuff, good, honest welfare. But no, he never have a political working things. He came to power, and yes, he was proudly saying that me, my government, and the army headquarters, we are on one page. Okay, thank you. Because he think working with the army without any clash is good for city. I'm just looking in a positive way. You have your own opinion. Mr. Bajwa, General, who now knows, involved in the almost $15 billion corruption, having lands in Belgium or somewhere. Mr. Bajwa, he started something to please foreign power, Western, CIA, blah, blah, blah. Because they are criminals, their record, their files must be in a CIA hand. Every general who is a corrupt, I have no sympathy. It's the truth. They are weak, they cannot take a stand for the country. So Mr. Bajwa doing something before 9 of April 2022, middle night of the 9th of April 2022. Before 8 months before or 9 months before, Pakistan USA Freedom Forum already said to the publicly, maybe 1 year back, that US diplomats as international NGOs, maybe Pentagon's people, maybe they're working for them, they start meeting with the Pakistani politicians in international conferences and maybe inside too. Bureaucrats, judges. I hope tomorrow some journalists will dig out the all meetings before April 9, 22. Maybe 1 year before that was started. The game which I called regime change. This is American CIA new game, installing dictators or like-minded governments or puppet. So 9th of April, they use that in parliament, in constitution, if you don't like your prime minister, you have a vote, come to the parliament, speaker will call a session, you give the your resolution, and this guy will be voting gone. But what they did with the all other parties, I call them soul sellers. MQM created by the army, Nawaz Sharif, who was away from the country because they were involved in the billions of dollars in rich corruption. Shahbaz Sharif, JUI Maulvi Fazal, who supplied thousand small orphans from their schools in 70s, 79 to army and CIA, to the Afghan war against USSR. The money was coming for that time from Saudi Arabia. Wow! The money came from Saudi Arabia, come to the madrasas. From maybe somewhere from Iraq or something. So this guy Fazal, he make good money. So MQM, Fazal, and the nationalist leaders of province KPK, province Balochistan, those people, they was collaborated, small parties in parliament, and they move. But then meanwhile, in March, Secretary of State, I think third secretary, second secretary, Mr. Lu, met with the ambassador Asad Majid, Pakistani ambassador to Washington, and they have the already declared meeting. And in this meeting, he said to Pakistani envoy, Dr. Asad, that before 9/11 move, that it's going to be moved. I mean, in that way, not simple way, but you can understand. So you have to cooperate with us. But that was a message, basically coded message to the General Bajwa, that they're going to be moved. You have to work with that. So 9th of April, army came to the Prime Minister house. Some generals, I think. Yeah, because from 9th of April and within the last 6 months, Bajwa illegally appointed Mr. DG ISI, like a CIA, who have a record of everybody. Nadeem Anjum, Lieutenant General Nadeem Anjum. He already appointed. So they came, big officials with the helicopter, PM house, and I don't know what they did inside the Imran Khan. Somebody said they mishandled physically, but anyway, the last people see the photo. Imran left his house with one diary and sit in his car and leave Prime Minister house. And in this game, our Supreme Court and Islamabad High Court, play the what a dirtiest game. They open their courts mid of the night. Open their court mid of the night when there is a 50,000 cases in Supreme Court, maybe since last 40 years, in high courts pending. But they opened the door midnight. Imran left. Next day, people got react. I'm telling you again, Imran Khan, maybe he's a really true believer of whatever he said. But be conscious, guys, in politics, you have to be conscious because it's a question of the future of the nation and the region. Imran go against this thing. He said this thing was a game against me. It means not against me, against the sovereignty of Pakistan. And Imran was, at this moment, my friends, socialist, communist, internationalist, tell me, is there any person from any nation who publicly challenged CIA regime change and said, we are sovereign country, we will not take orders? After Fidel Castro, Hugo Chavez, Che Guevara, you name the revolutionary leader. Left, please learn from your mistakes. If some good thing, some communist saying, revolutionary thing, some communist saying, you was behind that. But if any Muslim man say the truth, I never see that kind of passion. It's a double standard. Check my brother, left, socialist, communist in the world. Anyway, so he challenged. All of a sudden, I can see the Imran's government after 3.5 years rule, when there was a food supply was less, highest cost of the daily food. Oh my God, he was not popular, basically. But what happened within 1 hour when he left the PM house? People love him, people want to die him. Nations, this shows Pakistani nations love freedom. Don't want to be ruled by someone. Being a friend, you can talk, you can do everything. Not by as a dictator. It shows the main backbone of the nation, which is led by M.A. Jinnah under the inspiration of the last prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All of a sudden he became power. Everybody loved him. A women's, mothers, old ladies, kids, students, peasants, labor. And what a great struggle. I'm proud of my women. This ISI, this GHQ means General Headquarters of Army, how they brutalized, I think how they raped, how they make naked women, how they take away the mothers from their kids. From 9th of May, they're still in a jail, most of, maybe one US citizen, dual citizen, she was released. They said they are involved in some kind of army invention in army. 9th of May, 2023, I think. So now these women, they never budge. They are my heroes. I'm proud of my Pakistani women. I'm proud of Dr. Yasmin Rashid. The whole women's 5, 6, 7, they have a pictures all together. Guys, be proud. Now one thing, maybe in the last, guys, when something happened imposed to you, it means something gonna happen in near future, which is not good for the world, not good for your region, not good for your areas. So now what's gonna happen? Yes, it's $1 trillion question, and $100 trillion answer mean how to curtail China. At this moment, China is not biggest power in trade. No. China biggest power in modern intellect power, IT, internet, everything new. Yes, they are not good as Hollywood. So this our game, in my point of view, is curtailing China. I hope my Indian friends, Indian politician Mr. Modi, leave Kashmir Valley occupations. Since 1947, India occupied Kashmir Valley, and India killed, murdered by 900,000 Indian army apparatus. Almost 200,000 Kashmiri freedom fighters from 1980 to up till now. Before 1980 to 1947, someone has to check it. One of the biggest freedom fighter movements, but shame, we don't give the credit to the Kashmiri Mujahideen. My question is this: West and United States, do you forcing people to do something strange like Laila Khalid, like a PLO did, kidnap, hijack the plane, then you say, oh, there's a Kashmir is a problem. You are forcing to terrorism because you are not listening. That's my argument. So with this verse, I'm going to ask my socialist, communist friends in the world, pay attention to your other ideas. Give respect to those freedom fighters which you adore, which you salute, like a Che Guevara. Yes. Be kind to Osama bin Laden's freedom fighter in Afghanistan, freedom fighter in Kashmir, freedom fighter in Gaza, freedom fighter in Palestine. Please do something. Let's think about millions immigrants, asylum seekers. They are waiting for you. Just a human touch. We are power Western. You are not beggar. You have a lot of money, a lot of food. Let's share. And let's get the intellect of the all South, all African. So let's use them for the benefit of the humanity. That's called immigration reforms, which needed badly. Last 40 years, there's no. And I salute the biggest senator, Ted Edward Kennedy, who worked for immigrants as a human. I'm saying I want to thanks to Mr. Julian Assange. I want to thanks to Ron Kubi. I don't know what he's doing now, but William Consular, Elizabeth Fink, and Neil Stewart, and those parties who was against the Vietnam Workers' World Party, Socialist Party, who on the street challenged the draft. Let's free Dr. Afia Siddiqui. Let's free Julian Assange and all African American, I think 2.5 million in jail for minor things. Bullshit. Just feeding the industry of jail, which is controlled by the whites. So this is, as a Muslim, I'm not against any, based on any racism, region, culture. We all human. We all Jewish born person